Hello all, welcome back to One Pitch Catch. It's been quite a interesting weekend, but I guess the biggest news was Ben Stokes retiring from international cricket, effective from this ongoing third test against New Zealand. He announced it yesterday, I guess sometime during that's around the T mark or something like that, and it was played out over the public address system, and then he got a wicket with the first ball after the announcement and all that. There's just enough drama that goes on in that guy's life, right? So I think we've spoken about it in the past. Who writes your scripts? It's pretty much the same way. But what do we what is I think I had a few things, right? One is just the timing. It's an ongoing match. You still have to chase down. I mean, at that stage they had to get New Zealand out and then chase down obviously a pretty stiff target. Although, they will claim that no target is too high and things like that. And then the whole bravado, whatever you want to call it, or just showmanship about walking out to open and then scoring what may eventually prove to be a pretty pointless 30 of 20. What do you think, Harish?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, uh, I mean, the timing was not right, according to me. He could have, if he had told at least even before the start of the test that I'm back to play. Why not? Now, just that ECB let him play. So he could have told at the start of the test saying that this will be my last test. And like you said, there was a couple of New Zealand wickets to be picked and a big stiff target to be chased down. At that point, announcing the retirement was, I think it was just very self-centered, I feel, just to get
Right.
the attention on him and then going out to open. I mean, going out to open, he scored that 30 of 20, a useless 30 of 20 at the top of the order. If he had
Hmm.
batted down at a 6 or 7 and scored that 30 of 20 when they were close to
Yeah,
370, the three that they are chasing,
correct.
that would have been a very useful contribution. Imagine the top order guys getting them to 250,
Yeah,
270 or so, and then he pushes the team to beyond 330, and that could have been a very good. I mean, and also at this point of time, there is a test match to be won, and the series is to be won, and the series
yeah,
is not won mostly because of you. You did some.
definitely.
You did some off the ground
And
things,
him
and
and Gus Atkinson, Vachkala.
yeah, him. I mean, but him being the captain, he should take a bigger
Yeah,
responsibility. And he could have. I mean, I'm not demeaning New Zealand here. It could have been 2-0 after the first
yeah.
test if England he had turned up properly and not turning up at a pub, but instead of turned up at the
Um,
cricket ground. So those things looking and all those. And Emilio Gay, imagine Emilio Gay. He is making this is debut series. You push him
no.
from opening to number. I mean, he's just got 150 and a couple of middling
Yeah.
scores. He's not
No, but
established
he's
himself.
gone off the mark, right? He's done. I think he did his job. Like because at the other hand, you have Ben Duckett, who now has started coming into form.
Yeah. So, I mean, when Benkett comes in a form once in every 10 games, he
Oh.
comes into form, Jaga, because the moment somebody starts writing about what about Ben Beckett's form, he'll get a big 100. That's always been the case. So, this is how, and Emilio Gay, you're pushing him to number six. And now there is
Yeah,
another 270 runs to chase, and it's very difficult. I mean, if I were Emilio Gay, I would have been extremely disappointed. I wouldn't feel
yeah.
good about my captain suddenly retiring and what a great
Ah,
legend retiring and all those things. Okay. So, I mean, how much ever these guys can try to sugarcoat it. Him opening completely, I think, is a big black mark on his career when he announced his. I mean, there is enough. I feel black marks that he's collected over the career. But this opening yesterday, I do not think by any stretch of imagination, leniency. That is absolutely absurd for him to open the batting yesterday with Ben Duckett, Jaga.
yeah, that was just shocking. I guess if we talk about, I mean, he did go back on his ODI retirement around 3, 4 years ago, and he ended up playing I think it was the 23 ODI World Cup, if I remember right.
Yeah, which they didn't
So
qualify beyond the first
maybe
round.
Maybe, yeah, that's different. But maybe the last word is not yet done on it. Maybe he'll get talked into. Also, there is no alternative option because I don't think Joe Root is pretty much done with captaincy. I mean, even in the second test, it was very obvious that he was not really enjoying what was going on. Harry
Yes.
Brook plays the kind of innings that I don't think anybody should be giving him the responsibility of captaincy if he continues to bat this way. Then there is no alternative. So you might as well continue up. Dinner chance. So we don't rule it out, right? I mean, it's good for the marketing of the ECB also that every 1 year retirement அப்படின்னு போட்டா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் இழுத்துக்கலாம் அவனை. I mean, as a top all-rounder, I don't expect him to play beyond at least a couple of more years as a. I didn't expect him to play more than a couple of years as an international player. So you never know that maybe he will come back. Like other joining other illustrious all-rounders like Imran Khan, Shahid Afridi in terms of nobody really knows. Okay, இப்ப ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு சரி இதான் ஃபைனல் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட்டா இல்லை செமிஃபைனல் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட்டா அது தெரியாது. ஸோ வில் சி ஹவ் இட் கோஸ்.
I mean, not just
பட்
Afridi or Imran Khan, Ben Stokes himself, like you said about the ODI retirement.
ஆமா.
So we don't know. So see, let's see what happens. But one biggest thing is the bowlers will have to really bowl unplayable deliveries to get batsmen out from now on. Because Ben Stokes was the one who was getting all the
ஆமா,
unplayable
யா,
deliveries ever,
ஆமா.
every time.
அதுவே அவனை டென்ஷன் பண்ணிடுறா. இவ்வளோ வருஷமா வந்து ஐ எம் த ஒன்லி ஒன் தட் இஸ் கெட்டிங் ஆல் தீஸ் அன்பிளேபிள் டெலிவரிஸ் தட் deviate by so much, but he makes it appear as though it moved from leg break, it was literally like an off break or leg break or something like that.
Some didn't even deviate. Some didn't even deviate. Straight balls, like Simon
இல்ல
Cowell
அது வந்து
basically
he
said.
expected it to deviate but it didn't deviate, so he was shocked.
Okay. So
எதுவா இருந்தாலும் he shocked.
the ball will hit the top of middle stump. He will go down to the ground as if it rolled down. So he has to, and he will play outside, way outside his
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
and give a catch to second slip, and he will look at the
அப்புறம் வந்து
bowler and the pitch as if it was the most unplayable delivery. But I mean, with all that he's done over the last year or so, Jaga, I mean, trying to shake hands with Jadeja and Washington, not letting
yeah,
them
yeah.
score their hundreds when they were there is no spirit of the game and all those things. And he
It's the
asked, "Do
spirit
you
of the
want to?"
game, huh? Coming
Huh?
out to open with the series at stake when you probably, yeah, I know he's opened once in the long time ago or something like that, but you're not the opener. Let the opener do their job.
So it is. I don't think he's leaving any legacy behind to be proud of.
Yeah.
Jaga. Personally, I don't think. Hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially that McCallum Stokes combination has been in charge for like just over 4 years. I think they
Yes.
took it up in June of 22 against New Zealand, coincidentally. I think we
Yes.
mentioned that. So they've not really achieved much. Now, what does it do to Brendan McCallum's position? That's also questionable because he was pretty much there as far as I can see because of Rob Keys and Ben Stokes backing. Now, with Ben Stokes out of the picture, what does it do for McCallum, especially if they lose today? So that's going to make things more interesting. As an all-rounder, he's really top class for sure. And I think one of the very few people that you could say could contribute with bat and ball. Some all-rounders tend to be more of one than the other, but as a player, he was very, very good a lot of the time. Of course, sometimes he would play stupid shots and things like that, but sometimes you would just that occasion itself will drive what he does. But as a captain, I think it was pretty pathetic. I mean, you he didn't. I don't think they won any series of more than 3 matches or more or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
And they didn't win against any of the more slightly decent teams. So very questionable legacy as a captain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see with the news. I guess may not be too far away that okay, he's control Z on his retirement. We'll see how it goes. And of course, I mean New Zealand. I mean New Zealand will be just focused on getting this done. They had their own share of mid-series retirement to deal with. I actually think when I see all this, right, I think players should just hold off on the retirement announcement until the series is over. Let the series get over and just say thank you, goodbye, or between series, like we saw quite a few players do that, like Rahul Dravid, Lakshman, between the series, முடிச்சுட்டு கிளம்பிட்டு next series don't select us. அவ்வளவுதான். Don't let
Exactly.
it be about you.
I think it should not in between games, in between series லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாதுன்னு I think ICC should
இல்ல
ban it.
முன்னாடியே சொல்லக்கூடாது. I don't think it should be even announced before the series. Like we
Yes.
had that with Tendulkar, we had that with a lot of other players also.
No.
Like
No. Yes.
Vaughan, McGrath, எல்லாருமே அந்த Ashes 2016 and
Steve Waugh had.
Steve also. Why you're just taking the focus away from what you've been playing for the last 15 years, 20 years. So why would you do that? Anyway, so that's a topic for a different day. So we'll come back again. Yeah, so in the meantime, let's see what happens to the test match today. Hopefully it'll be a good game. England probably are not going to win this, especially given how Ben Stokes batted.
If Joe Root and Emilio Gay can bat out of their skins, it's an open game still. But
Yeah,
I think New Zealand have got the fast bowling
yeah,
arsenal to rattle England, and I mean, which means they will win the series 2-1.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Excellent.
Right, okay.
Yeah. See you.
That's about it then. Until then, thanks a lot. Bye. Please keep watching and following and subscribing. Bye.